Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to the stream. It's great to have you with me today for the season finale of Division 1 here in Season 3. Today we arrive at Interlagos in Brazil. It's a very iconic track in Formula One. Of course, we've had lots of championships decided at this track, notably in 2008 with Lewis Hamilton. And today we prepare for some thrilling battles around this 4.309 kilometer circuit. So right now we are getting set to go here for the sprint shootout. One shot qualifying for the sprint race. And after the first sector, the driver in first place is Haaland. Divine is the first retirement from qualifying. Oh, and Haaland has invalidated. I'm not sure if that was intentional. Obviously, in previous races, we've seen him intentionally start from the back because this guy is quite literally unbeatable. But either way, he will be starting from the back in today's sprint race. And currently, Yuri is the leader of the one-shot qualifying. He's just set the purple middle sector. I don't know what the gap is between him and Cervier, but I'm sure it's extremely close. Up to the line now. Oh, it was less than a tenth between Yuri and Cervier. But nonetheless, Yuri takes pole position here for the sprint race. So Yuri on pole, 700ths between him and your championship leader, Cervier. Third place, we have Patty, and going down the rest of the order, Cutthroat with a great starting position, fourth place. The steps, Sparrow as well, up much higher than he usually is in P6. It's a mighty lap from him. Yan, Mihu, Fire, Marios, Tuts. I don't know how to say that. That's my first time commentating on this driver here. Kaka, Waza, James, Shermanator, Switcheroo, Haaland, and Divine. I want to call him Alex, but it's Alev, so I'm not sure what to call him. If I had to guess, I would guess his name is George, because that is a very common Greek name. Oh, and it is an absolute monsoon of shite down in the pit lane. Absolutely pissing down. And looks like we have heavy wet conditions for the sprint race. So unfortunately, for from an entertainment perspective, the championship has been decided. The drivers' championship has been decided. Cervoyer currently leads Patty by 38 points, so there's no way that Patty can catch up. But in the Constructors' Championship, theoretically, Aston Martin could win it. Mercedes are currently in the lead by 53 points. But if both Mercedes DNF and Aston Martin scores a 1-2, then I'm pretty sure they have a chance. And And there's also the sprint race. So if Mercedes have a bad sprint and race, it is definitely possible for the guys in green to get it done. So obviously, starting from the back, Haaland is going to have a more difficult time scoring points than the Aston Martins, but we know how quick he is. And to be honest, I think he's going to finish this in the top 5 at least. But those conditions do look treacherous, don't they? Yuri sliding all over the place. And this reminds me a lot of the British Grand Prix earlier in the season when it was just so wet on the track and all the drivers were driving super cautiously just to keep it on the road. So there's some crazy sliding from Cutthroat there. But these are all extremely talented and skilled drivers, and I'm sure that they're all going to be able to keep it clean out there. Yeah, I'm like really don't know what to call this guy, this RB. If anyone has any suggestions, please help me out. I could just call him G, but anyways. 5 red lights on ahead of the drivers. It's lights out and away we go. Cervelier's got a good start. He's alongside Yuri and he's ahead into turn 1. Down the inside goes the Aston Martin driver, side by side with Yuri, and he just has to back out at the last second. Great racecraft from these two in the first corner. And Paddy is looking racy as well. Round the outside goes the Irishman, side by side with Cervelier. Down into turn 4. Who's going to take second place? And Cervelier was later on the brakes, keeping his position. That's a wonderful start from these three. Very entertaining. I think Yuri might have went a little wide there at the exit of turn 6, but he is keeping his gap pretty steady so far, 4/10. So we didn't really see what happened closer to the back, but it all looks pretty neat and tidy. There's not a single driver that lost loads of time from the first couple corners. Dutchke making a nice move on Kaka down the inside there. Oh, side by side, Kaka and Haaland. Haaland already up into P13. What a move! Round the outside he goes. And he's going to get 2 in 1 here. He goes down the inside of Dutchke. That man is on an absolute mission. And now he's in the slipstream of Miu as well. This guy is absolutely flying. 3 positions in 1 sector for the Mercedes driver. Is Dutchke going to send it into turn 1? He keeps his nose in, but he leaves enough space for the Mercedes. So, contact between Switcheroo and Firefly. Still side by side. Into turn 4. They're doing such a great job out there, keeping it clean. It's hard enough to drive side by side at this track in the dry, and they're doing it in pouring rain. So hats off to these guys. They've been great all season long, and they are continuing that form here today. And Haaland approaches his next prey in Firefly, and he makes a nice pass, neat and tidy around the outside in the middle sector. He's already up in the P10, and it's only lap 2. So let's take a look at the position changes. So we're about a lap and a half in now, almost 2 laps, and Shermanator, Switcheroo, and Haaland have all gained 8 positions, but make that 9 for Switcheroo. Switcheroo, your hero of lap 1, gaining 9 positions. And your biggest faller is Miu, losing 7 positions on the opening couple of laps. Oh! Spin! Switcheroo dips a wheel onto the grass at turn 1, and all of that progress that he made in the first couple laps has gone down the drain. He's down in P14. I think that was a reset the track from the McLaren driver as well. Shermanator and Haaland side by side. They're going to make it 3 wide as well with Sparrow. Sparrow goes wide. Oh, that's a beautiful battle. I don't even have words. I just want to watch. Great racing from these three. Oh, and Sherman gets a bad exit, losing the position to both drivers there. But it was a great battle while it lasted. Now, Haaland is absolutely flying. But there is a 4-second gap between Cutthroat and the top three. So my guess is he's going to finish in P4. But he never fails to surprise us week in and week out. So we'll see what he can do. If anyone has any predictions, feel free to put them in the chat. Gives me something else to talk about, which is nice. I think there's some like sound enhancement or something since this update. I can hear the rain a lot more clear, especially when they're going over curbs. I can hear the spray. I don't know if that's just me or if it's my sound setting. Let me play with that actually. So right now it's on broadcast. Let's put on driver. That is terrible. I think they tried to like muffle it, because obviously if you're wearing a helmet, you know the sound is going to be muffled. But that just sounds so bad. Yeah, you can hear the spray a little bit, which is a nice touch if that is new. But I don't remember that being there before. And Haaland makes Jan his next victim. Gets a good exit out of Hunkau, and he is now up into P6 as we start lap 5. Oh, and he's already close to the man in 4th place in Cutthroat. So it's very possible that he could even go from last to first and win this thing. We will wait and see. I don't think there's many other battles going on right now. Kaká is pretty close to Firefly in the Ferrari, but there isn't too much happening on the track right now. Usually wet weather absolutely ruins races. It makes for a very boring race, but that hasn't been the case today, and that's good to see that these drivers are able to still battle and still keep it close, even though it's they have to be a lot more careful just to control their own car. So I have some messages in the chat I need to take a look at. Oh, Patty's getting close to Cervoyer. We've got a yellow flag in the 3rd sector, and it's Firefly in the Ferrari. Patty's not able to get past Cervoyer just yet. I think he cut the inside as well there in the Senna S. In the slipstream, not really able to gain enough to make a move, but it is building up to quite an exciting battle here. He's all over the gearbox of the Aston Martin. We go through the middle sector now. 30% battery for Patty, 29 for Cervoyer, so pretty close on the ERS front. Oh, big slide from Haaland in the Mercedes. He goes wide as well, and it appears that Cutthroat and the steps are giving him a little bit of a more difficult time getting by than the other drivers. He's been stuck here in P6 for almost a full lap now. Oh, and he gives the steps a little love tap on the rear there. Thankfully, both drivers were able to keep control of their cars. I can't see the chat. Oh, just my Wi-Fi or what? Wi-Fi's been acting up lately. Okay, we're gonna do something else. Oh, it's not what I meant to do. Broadcast. No, it's not it either. You can't view the chat anymore directly from the PlayStation. Alright, anyways, I remember there was some messages before. I apologize for not answering them, but I saw Ghosted is asking about the Gran Turismo race this week. So if you aren't aware, we have opened a Gran Turismo division in DER. We're midway through the season now, and if you're interested in joining, you can message me, Mookie, or Touchkey. Either or is fine, and we will happily accept you into the league. We've made quite a lot of progress since we first started, and it's getting very exciting. So Ghosted asked about Nürburgring this week. I can only speak about myself personally. I know that I'm pretty decent at that track, so I think I should be in the running for a podium. I do think you will win, Ghosted. I don't think you're going to have much of a problem winning that race. But Nürburgring is a pretty difficult track to overtake, I would say. So hopefully it keeps the drivers all bunched up together, because it's going to be a little bit more difficult to overtake. As Haaland finally gets by Cutthroat and the steps, and it has allowed Jan and Shermanator to catch back up as well. So we've got 5 cars here, all battling each other. Switcheroo and Sparrow not too far behind either. Rain. Could do rain, actually. Not a bad idea. I did promise you guys we would do rain. Catalonia is a sprint race, so I really wouldn't want to mess with that. Probably wouldn't want to do it on the last race either. So it's Nürburgring, Monza, or Deep Forest. So I need to make sure. We could either do Nürburgring or Deep Forest. So I will check that right now. Can you do wet weather on Deep Forest in Gran Turismo? The answer is no. So none of the Americas tracks have rain, apparently. And Deep Forest doesn't have it either. So yeah, Ghosted, thank you for bringing that up. I think we might have to make it a wet race this week. Which, yes, I agree, it would make it more exciting. We haven't had a wet race yet. And for those who don't know, in Gran Turismo, you cannot have... I don't think you can have dynamic weather. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ghosted. But we've just been running strictly dry races up until now. I think the reason for dynamic weather not being available is because it's only available on certain tracks. Not all tracks in Gran Turismo are real tracks. There's some that are created by the game developers, and there's some tracks that they just don't allow rain for some reason, so that you can there's only wet races, or there's only dry races on those tracks. So like this one that I just said, Deep Forest, I'm pretty sure that's not a real track. It's made by the developers, but you can't have, it's just physically impossible to do a wet race on that track. So that is the reason why. I don't like this audio. I will do. But my question was, can we do dynamic weather, or is that not an option? It's either dry or wet, one or the other. Oh, switcheroo. I just realized, after making that mistake earlier in the sprint and losing some places, big snap of oversteer from Cutthroat, nearly taking out his teammate as well. As I was saying, Switcheroo, after making that mistake and losing all those places, has gained them all back. He's back up in the P6, and he's gaining on his teammate as well. He does have a penalty, so he's probably going to lose some places after all, but nevertheless, a great comeback from the McLaren driver. And he's going down the inside, absolute send on his teammate. Wow, what a move from Switcheroo. It was a little bit sketchy, but both drivers left enough space for each other, and in the end, they made it work. So Ghosted, you're able to, so dynamic weather, I mean like randomize it. Like you load into the lobby and then the game decides dry or wet. Is that an option or no? So as we predicted, Halan is in P4. He's got 7 seconds to Cervoyer in P3, who got overtaken by Patty. I don't think Halan is going to be able to catch him. But if the Mercedes stay where they are now in P2 and P4, they will be crowned officially the Constructors' Champions. You can do something like that in the settings. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I can see the chat from my stream. On my PS4, there was a way to do it, but I'm on PS5 now, and I don't know if it's even an option anymore. And it's not showing up on my phone for some reason. So, yeah, a little bit frustrating. I couldn't see your entire message. Lots of drivers starting to pick up penalties now on the last lap. Yuri's going to come across the line to win the sprint race in Brazil. Patty in P2 and Cervoyer in P3. Are we going to have a battle up to the line? Oh, Cutthroat's gaining. He's gaining on the steps. Oh, but it's not enough. Steps keeps P5. And Switcheroo drops all the way down to 11th with those penalties. Waza's going to lose some places here too. The engine still sounds bad, in my opinion. I don't know if it's just the cinematic audio, but I'm not a huge fan of this either, to be completely honest. Let's see if broadcast is any different. We are broadcasting anyway, so that might be the best choice. Yeah, the engine just sounds a little bit louder. I don't know if that's just me, but I think I'm going to stick with this. So no doubt, Halan, driver of the day. Mercedes are your Constructors' Champions. And the champions have been officially declared, but second place in the Drivers' Championship. Second place in the Drivers' Championship is still to play for. Patty and the steps are only separated by 12 points. So obviously Patty gained on the steps. Patty was P2 and the steps is P5. But with a DNF from Patty, and I'm not trying to jinx anything, but a DNF from Patty and a good result from the steps, and that can put the steps up in the P2. And don't forget, everyone, there is prize money for this season. I forget exactly what it is, but we had an anonymous donator. I know who it is, but I'm not allowed to say. And he has been very generous, and he has donated a total of $500 to the league. 500, I think it might even be euro, €500 to the league, and that is going to be used towards the champions in our F1 divisions. Hopefully, we can get some prize money in GT7 in the future as well. That would be nice. 2 divisions in GT7 would be really nice as well. If anyone watching plays Gran Turismo or knows anyone that plays Gran Turismo, please invite them to our league. We're trying to expand as much as possible. We have a solid division going right now, but we don't have nearly enough for a second one. So it would be much appreciated if you can help us recruit. Servoye, you are the world champion. The world champion. Well done. Enjoy it. You are the man. Okay. I'm looking for this prize money now. I don't know when it was announced, so. Okay, it's obviously not in February. Oh, here we go. For one shot qualifying for the race. Oh, piss off. I want to see the leader. And currently it's Cutthroat in the lead. Now it's Patty. We're going to stick with Patty for the remainder of this lap. Yeah, the spectator view for one shot quality is so annoying because it has that fade cutscene every time you switch driver, and the drivers are constantly moving every 0.5 seconds, so it's literally impossible to watch the driver you want to watch. The lap is already half over by the time you do that. So anyways, a lap is pretty much over now. Patty going through the final real corner, Hunkau. Now up the hill. The double left-handed flat-out corner opening the DRS. And he's in 3rd place. And it's Switcheroo. Switcheroo comes across the line and takes pole position. Switcheroo with an absolute banger of a lap, 1 minute 7.8, takes pole position behind Tonga. Another banger of a lap, 1 minute 8.0, and behind him, Patty, only 6 thousandths behind Tonga. Then we have then we have Kaka, Yan, Yuri, Servoye, the steps was Mihu, Sparrow, Tuts, James, Divine, Cutthroat, Haland, Firefly, Shermanator, Marios, and G. I like cut G. So I found it. Over the past months, we have been talking with one of our beloved members about wanting to contribute to bring DER to another level. This dedicated member who wants to stay anonymous is offering us truly something amazing. He will donate $100 for each division at the end of the season. So, I remember it being more specific, so I'll see if I can find that. I don't know where I got 500 from. I remember something about 500 total. Maybe it's 100 for the drivers' championship and 100 for the constructors' championship as well. That would make sense. Imagine that. Imagine you get absolutely carried by this like crazy teammate. Like let's take Haaland for example. Paddy didn't get carried. Paddy came second, or he's fighting for second in the drivers' championship. He's had a great season. Haaland is obviously the quickest in the league right now. So imagine you pair up Haaland with someone who isn't exactly pulling their weight, and then they get $50 just because Haaland absolutely carries them in the championship. That'd be pretty funny. Sorry, Ghosted. I can't see the entire message. It's kind of annoying me, to be honest. Yeah, all the info I have right now is that it's $100 per division. So I don't know exactly how it's being split or anything like that, but there could potentially be prize money on the line here today for second place in the Drivers' Championship. We have a proposal in the GT7 division. Well, Boasted is running a special livery. Made by his girlfriend. Okay. I look forward to seeing it. So Ghosted, Logan has proposed that we race at the 24-hour layout on Wednesday, and you start in last place with no quali. That's gonna be a nightmare. How do you overtake on the? How do you do a clean overtake on 24-hour event? It's impossible. It's impossible. Guy is gonna be the first ever driver in human history to make a clean overtake on the 24-hour layout. I can barely drive that track for one lap without bottling it into the barrier. So I'm sorry, Logan, but that's a no from me. Oh, spin. He hasn't even started the race yet, and he's already binned it. Alrighty then. Look at this front row. Switcheroo and Tonga. Who would have guessed that? One, two, three, four, five red lights. It's lights out and away we go. Switcheroo gets a decent start, but he's losing ground to Tonga. Into turn one. Here we go. Switcheroo's later on the brakes, and he keeps his lead. Oh, big snap of oversteer from Tonga. He lost tons of time on that exit. Paddy is catching up to him now, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to make a move into turn four, and it isn't just yet. Oh, debris splashing all over the track. I'm not sure from whose car that was. Down the inside goes Yuri on Kaka. Kaka goes for the switchback, but Yuri does a great job defending, and Yuri's up in the fourth place. Switcheroo is already pulling away from Tonga here. Alright, Ghosted, I have a proposal that you start. You can be like Haaland. Haaland is like the version of you, just in F1. You start from the back every race to make things more interesting at the front. I think you've won every race this season by like 20 plus seconds. So to be honest, that could potentially make for a very interesting finish to our races. Oh, and Cutthroat is going wide, and he gets overtaken by Haaland and Steps in doing so. Firefly makes a nice move up the inside as well, taking advantage of Cutthroat's error. And is he missing bits of front wing? No, he's not. Ghost, I'm going to get on Gran Turismo after this race for a little bit, if you would like to join me. So we are beginning lap 3 now. Your hero of the start of this race goes to Firefly and Haaland with 7 positions gained each. And their biggest faller is Waza, who's dropped 10 positions, and he's currently in P19. To be fair, if I was Waza and I qualified P9, I would be pretty happy with that, given where he's been for the majority of this season. We've got a huge train here, effectively from the front all the way to the back. The biggest gap right now, apart from Cutthroat, is only 2 seconds and a little bit. So we have a DRS train from P1 to P6, and then P7 to P13. So it's very, very tight at the moment. Firefly is getting past Touchkey. I think they're on the straight. Touchkey will have DRS though, and he's going to breeze past the Ferrari. Haaland is going to breeze past the Haas. And already on lap 4, we have 4 penalties, and Yana's retired. He's retired in the pits, it appears. That is not ideal, that's for sure. Already, penalties for Tonga, Servoyer, Shermanator, and Miu after only 3 completed laps. Oh! I don't know if that was a rear lockup or a tap in the back from Firefly, but Touchkey has lost the rear grip at a huge moment and lost a place as a result. Is this where Tonga takes the lead of this Brazilian Grand Prix? He's got ERS, he's got DRS, he's in the slipstream. He doesn't send it, but there's a big lockup for switcheroo. So Tonga is going to try it and force switcheroo into mistakes for him to take the lead. He's got DRS once again, and he's got a much better chance here into turn 4. Down the inside goes Tonga. Little bit of contact, big contact, and they're both out. Switcheroo and Tonga collide in turn 5, and that has put an end to both of their races, bringing out the VSC and putting Yuri in the lead. Incredible. That was like Perez and Sainz this weekend. And we are green. And Kaká, what a launch from Kaká. Has gone past Yuri into turn 1. Gained 3 positions since the start of this race. The Aston Martin driver has. But DRS is still enabled, which is going to allow Yuri to have a go at Kaká, but that is beautiful defending from the Frenchman, and he's keeping Yuri at bay. Oh, big slide from Yuri. Oh, and he rejoins the track in a pretty unsafe manner. I'm not sure if that's going to be a penalty. Probably would be if Haaland reports it, but thankfully he had quick reflexes and was able to avoid that one. And it's a Aston Mercedes top 4. Oh, contact! Shermanator runs into the back of Sparrow through the Senna S. It doesn't look like there's damage on his front wing. Are we going to go 3 wide into turn 4? Shermanator gets the move done, and so does G on the inside, but Sparrow is still there on the inside into turn 6, but he backs out, and that's G up into P9, gaining 11 positions so far. So we're going to switch to this battle between Kaká and Paddy, because Paddy is getting a great exit and overtaking Kaká, and here comes Cervillier on his teammate as well. Is Cervillier going to make it 2 into 1 here? Is he going to overtake Paddy? He turns off his battery, opts to save it. Two people that can't get penalty points anymore. So in the Gran Turismo div, I think it's Jesper and Curtins. If they get any more penalty points, they will receive a qualifying ban because they're both at 4 at the moment. I mean, to be fair, they both got 3 penalty points from 1 incident, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Jesper did for sure, but Curtins got at least 2 penalty points in Spa for that turn 1 incident. I thought that was a little bit harsh, to be honest, but it is what it is, and the stewards are better stewards than I am, so. Oh, Servoyer. Catching Patty. Not able to overtake just yet. Okay, Ghosted, we have to test it out for a dry race. For a wet race, I don't know if it's really fair. But I am terrible at wet weather in Gran Turismo. That's all I know. I mean, I haven't done it since the update, but it's a completely different ball game. It's not like F1 where you can drive. It's the wet and dry lines and everything. It makes such a difference, and the difference in grip between wet and dry is just absurd in Gran Turismo, and it makes the driving experience a lot more difficult. So the field is starting to spread out a little bit now. We're about to start lap 10. Patty is going to get back past Servoyer into turn 4. So we've got some position swapping going on at the front, but keep in mind Servoyer does have that penalty. So if Patty can keep out of penalty trouble, that will be crucial by the end of the race. James is the next victim to the monster named Track Limits. Tonga, I think from what I saw, Switcheroo was on the outside and he was trying to turn in to make sure he didn't get caught out onto the grass, but I think he had nowhere to go, to be honest. I think you were a little bit I think you could have given him a bit more space, but I don't know, in the heat of the moment, I'm sure you were also just trying to keep your car on the track, and it was a difficult situation. So, oh, huge snub of oversteer from Yuri. He picked up a penalty a few corners ago, but he has caught up to the leaders. Now we have the top 4 within very close range of each other. Mercedes, Aston, Mercedes, Red Bull. Apart from Holland, G is having a very strong race so far, gaining 12 positions. So we have some mixed strategies. As Holland makes up 2 positions in one corner, he's up into the lead. And Yuri is off the track. We've missed this. Breaking his front wing in the process. And it's a Mercedes, Aston top 4 once again. So, as I was saying, we have some mixed strategies. Big snap of oversteer from Holland. This track looks very difficult to drive. Right now, we're seeing lots of drivers having big moments. Is that a McLaren in the wall? It's cutthroat. Who's 1 lap down at the moment. We've got G and Shermanator on the soft tires, so they're probably going to come in soon, if not on this lap. We've got some medium compound runners, and we've got some hard compound runners as well. So I'm imagining a soft hard for the soft runners, a medium hard for the medium runners. And for the hard runners, it really depends on how their tires are doing. They could go long and put on the softs at the end, or they could play it safe and try to go for the undercut and put on the mediums. Neri has DNF'd, and Servoyer has gone back past Haaland, and so has Patty. So Haaland loses 2 positions in one go on this occasion, and he's down to P3. So the Mercedes drivers are in the Aston Martin sandwich right now. The top 2 in the Constructors' Championship. Little lock up there from Servoyer. Haaland is gaining on his teammate, but he isn't gaining enough on Servoyer, so he's going to have to stay in second place at the moment, but he will get DRS on the second straight here, approaching turn 4. He's already side by side with the Aston Martin as they go down the back straight. Into turn 4 we go, and Haaland gets the move done. Quite an easy pass for the Belgian. He's back up into the lead. And we have a VSC. What's that about? It's Divine in the wall. He's broken his front wing. That brings out the VSC. Divine's going to have to make a pit stop to switch out that wing, which will probably put him in last place. And that has worked out perfectly for G, a soft compound runner, who is going to get effectively a free pit stop here. And it is a little bit of a double stack, but this could work out in his favor. He's putting on the medium tires. Interesting choice from the Greek, the Greek driver. If he can take those to the end, then obviously it is the correct choice. But I question whether he's going to be able to accomplish that task. And we have gone green. Divine is putting on the soft tires. That is an interesting choice. If you ask me, he's definitely not making it to the end on those. And we've still got this Aston Martin Mercedes sandwich going on in the top 3. Oh, what's happened? Haaland has made a mistake. He's crumbled under the pressure. Finally, the other drivers have got to him somehow, and he's now in 3rd place. I was just about to say that now that he's at the front, he isn't looking as dominant as he usually does. Servoyer and Patty have done a great job being able to keep up with him so far in this race. We're approaching the halfway point now. And Cervellier dives into the pits on the medium compound tires. He is the first one of the front runners to make his stop. I'm not sure if he had already passed the pit lane when the VSC came out, but to be honest, I'm surprised that he didn't make his stop under that VSC because that would have saved him some time. But again, we don't know where he was on the track when that VSC came out. So he's going on to the medium compound tires. Or sorry, he was on the mediums. He switched to the hards. I mean, obviously the drivers are trying to win this race, but it doesn't really mean anything unless your name is Paddy or the Steps. And the Steps currently down in P6 isn't a huge threat to Paddy. So maybe the Mercedes can do opposite strategies. Maybe one can go long and put on softs, and the other can pit in the next couple laps and put on mediums. But I don't know what those two are thinking, what they're planning strategy-wise. I think it could go either way, to be honest. I'm not sure which one would be quicker. Because you're going to lose time on older hard tires, but you're going to gain it back on fresh softs. You're not going to have that pace drop-off on the hards if you pit to mediums. But obviously the mediums aren't as quick as the softs, so it could go either way. And maybe you want Paddy to pit now or try to cover the undercut by Cervellier, and then maybe Halan goes long and then puts on the softs later. That's probably what I would do if I was the Mercedes engineer. But we'll see what these two choose. This is going to be an interesting choice because as we've seen many times before in this season, the undercut has been extremely powerful. And if neither Mercedes driver covers it off, then Cervellier might be able to catch back up to them by the time they make their stops, and maybe even take the lead. So currently we have the Mercedes drivers battling it out for the lead between Halan and Paddy. Paddy isn't close enough at turn 1. Maybe he can make a move into turn 4 with a good exit out of the Senna S. It looked pretty good, but this is a relatively short straight, so I'm not sure if he's going to have the overspeed to make the move, and he doesn't. So we actually have a battle going on in the midfield between Waza, Mihu, Shermanator, and James. Crazy overspeed. And Halan is into the pits. Contact between the Red Bull and the Williams. Let's see what tires the Mercedes driver opts for. Side by side. between Shermanator and Waza. And he's going on to the mediums. Interesting. We saw G make the softs last about 14, 15 laps. So it definitely is possible if that's what Patty is thinking. And sure enough, Servoyer has come out of the pits about 4 seconds ahead of Haaland. So he is on hards, Haaland is on mediums, but by being on the fresher tires, while Haaland was on older tires, he's gained 4 seconds by just simply lapping quicker than him. So that just goes to show you, as we've seen it many times before this season, how powerful the undercut is. Patty follows his teammate into the pits. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for the softs here, but it could go either way, soft or medium. And he goes for the medium as well, just like his teammate. So if I had to guess, he's going to come out just behind Haaland here. He's just left the pit box. And there's Patty. So about 1 second. That's the amount of time that Haaland gained on only one lap of fresher tires. And Kaká is going to have to pit, but without his penalty, Servoyer is in the lead of this race. Mihu and James side by side. James goes a little bit deep. Mihu leaves him tons of space. Very generous from the Williams driver, but is able to regain the position nonetheless. Is James going to come back at him into turn 4? He has a look, but stays where he is. Haaland sets the fastest lap of this race. Oh, big slide and a spin! And Shermanator on lap 24 has crashed. And then this is a perfect opportunity for Kaká to make his pit stop as a safety car has been deployed. Rios comes in. G stays out, interestingly. For all the drivers at the back, it makes perfect sense to come into the pits. Because track position isn't as important as fresh tires, because the amount of time gain on a fresh set of softs versus a used set of mediums or hards is exponential. It's actually crazy when you look at it. It could be the difference between a podium or not even in the top 10. Haaland was catching pretty quick, and the steps did make the right choice, in my opinion, by going on to fresh softs. So now Touchkey is in danger. Oh, he is pitting now, so he's going to lose position to the steps anyways, most likely. G is in danger unless he makes a pit stop as well. Haaland has made a pit stop, and it put him on 21 lap old hards. That might be the biggest bottle job this season. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but either way, that guy is not going to be quick. And I don't even know if those tires are going to make it to the end, to be honest. Unless he's plotting some last to first in 10 laps thing where he's going to make another pit stop onto fresh softs and then he's going to go from last to first. I don't know. But all I know is that those tires are not going to the end. and those tires are going to have zero pace. Cervelier pitted for another set of mediums. I don't know if I would have done that if I was him. He'd only pitted a couple laps earlier. It has left Kaka on fresh softs right behind Patty, so he won out beautifully with that safety car. He could even win this thing, Kaka. And Haaland is making another stop, so again, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but obviously that was not a smart choice. And he is putting on fresh softs. Where is he going to come out? Either P7 or P8. Let's see if G can catch him. Doesn't look like he's being held up by a delta or anything, but I don't know if he's going to have enough pace to get out ahead of Haaland. They're side by side. And G barely gets ahead of Haaland. 1/10 between the two of them. And congratulations, G. You have been awarded track position. And the safety car will be coming in this lap. Firefly gets a 10-second penalty for a severe collision with Patty. So pretty much everyone is on a fresh set of either mediums or softs. And we are getting ready to go racing for the final 10 laps of the final race of Season 3 here in DER. Patty leads the rest of the field. Through the center S he goes, and he is off. Cervelier catching his teammate, but I think he needs to let Kaka go just for today. He's on the fresher tires, and he doesn't have a penalty. If it's going to be an Aston Martin, it's going to be Kaka today. You can just see how much quicker the drivers are able to go on their fresh tires. It looks like they're in an absolute rocket ship out there. Down the inside goes Kaka into turn 1. Huge contact between him and Patty. They're still side by side through the center S. Here we go then. 3 wide. Kaka, Patty, and Cervelier. Who's going to come out in front into turn 4? The Aston Martins have the upper hand. And Cervelier down the inside gets the move done, and the American is into the lead. They're still side by side, Patty and Kaka. And Haaland goes through in turn 7. It was looking so promising for Kaka on those fresh softs, but unfortunately he has picked up a penalty, and now it's looking like it's Mercedes' race to lose. Got Marios and Waza going side by side down the main straight. They both have DRS enabled. Who's going to be last on the brakes? Waza keeps the position for the time being, but picks up a penalty. This is the stage where penalties are crucial. All the drivers are bunched up because of the safety car. And now every 10th counts, and that's why penalties are a big no-no at this stage. Haaland looked for an opening on Cervoyer, but the track just tightened up a little bit too quickly. What a move by Haaland down the inside. There was absolutely no room for him there, but he made it work, and he's up into P2. It's a Mercedes 1-2 here at Brazil. Cervoyer has something to say about that 1-2 though. He overtakes Paddy, so does his teammate Haaland. Haaland is your new race leader. Oh, what's this? We had a Ferrari, which was a bit of a disruptant on the track just a few moments ago. An AI-controlled Ferrari. I hate that camera. They won't let me switch it though. Trying to get a nice overhead shot. That would be lovely. There we go. Touchkey side by side with Kaká down into turn one. Touchkey has the inside line. He's later on the brakes, and the Dutch driver is up into P4. Potential for a podium as well for Touchkey with Cervoyer's 3-second time penalty. Okay, that's not the first time that's happened, so it must be a glitch with the debris flying up on the exit of turn 4 and the entry to turn 5. Cervoyer is putting pressure on Haaland now despite being on medium compound tires. Let's see if he can disturb the Mercedes party here. He has the DRS. Haaland doesn't. In the slipstream, he's got more battery than the Mercedes driver. Haaland forces him as close to the wall as he can. But that is not stopping Cervoyer from retaking the lead of this race. And Haaland makes contact with the American, losing time and losing a place to his teammate as well. So it looks like your top 3 is going to be Paddy, Haaland, and Touchkey, unless something absolutely catastrophic is to occur. Late move! Paddy, down the inside, retakes the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Cervoyer is all over the back of him, and he's going to get the last laugh here. He's going to get a DRS helping and he's going to retake the lead once more. However, this time, Haaland is the driver chasing him. Little visor camera from Patty. And there are officially 3 laps to go here in Brazil. Contact! Patty and Touchkey bang wheels into turn 1. That disrupts Touchkey. He might even lose DRS to Patty here because of it. He is outside of 1 second because of that now. 1.1 between him and the Irishman. Let's see if he can gain this back. Kaká and Touchkey going side by side. Touchkey keeps his 4th place. Touchkey loses 2 positions in 1 corner there. And Haaland has picked up a penalty. We've missed it. Haaland has thrown away the race victory and maybe even his podium as well. If Touchkey, it's all up to Touchkey. If he can stay within 3 seconds, he can have himself a P2 here. Right now, he's about 3.2 behind Cervoyer and 2.7 behind Haaland. We are now about to start the final lap of this race, and we are about to witness the epic conclusion to Division 1 here in Season 3. Kaká loses 2 positions in 1 corner. Touchkey beard with a dive bomb down the outside, but he can't make it stick. And he loses both places once more. Could you imagine if Patty gets a penalty and Touchkey takes the win? Our league owner wins the final race of this season. Big slide from Patty. Oh, huge slide from Haaland as well. Patty's going to pass him on track, and he does. Oh, it's a drag race to the line. It doesn't matter because of penalties, but who's going to take it? Patty takes it. And Touchkey just misses out on the podium by 9/10 of a second. Cervoyer took victory on track, but the winner of the season finale here in Season 3 goes to Patty. So there you have it then. The final race of Season 3 in Division 1. Paddy takes victory. Servoyer comes home in second place. And Haaland takes the third and final spot on the podium. It was an absolute thriller. Thank you everyone for watching along with me. Paddy P1, Servoyer P2, Haaland P3 with the fastest lap. Looking at the rest of the grid, we have Touchkey, Kaka, The Steps, Marios, G, Sparrow, James, Divine, Waza, Mihu, Firefly, Shermanator, Yuri, Cutthroat, Switcheroo, Tonga, and Yan. I will send the party shortly ghosted, but first, I would like to have an interview with the top 3 drivers. Okay, so Haaland is unavailable for an interview, but we will be getting Servoyer in and potentially Paddy as well. Hello, Servoyer.
How's it going, my man?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Just gonna make sure the stream can hear you before we start. And they can. Awesome. So, first of all, if I heard correctly, you're gonna be taking over for me in the comms box next season.
I am indeed. Touchkey and Divine have trusted me with comms for next season, so I'm looking forward to it. Taking a step back from the racing side, and looking forward to presenting some entertaining, hopefully, comms for D1 next season.
Yeah, I know. I watched the stream back last week when you did D2 race, and I have to say it looked really good.
Thank you,
Yeah,
appreciate
we're
it.
happy that happy we can get someone to take over for me. My schedule is looking pretty busy on Mondays now, especially
Yeah,
since
no, I
school
can imagine.
has started up again. So it's yeah, we're happy that we got someone we know can do a good job.
Yeah, hopefully you can get on the grid, man. I want to see you in action.
Oh man. Well, first of all, Mondays wouldn't be able to work, and second, I'm terrible at this game. So maybe if you can become the Gran Turismo commentator as well, that would be
Okay,
pretty
okay.
cool. But yeah, about today's race, you won it on track. Unfortunately, after that penalty, you had to step down on the take a step down to Paddy. But overall, it was an extremely entertaining race. There was really a battle at all times between you 3 front runners. Just talk me through that. How did you feel today?
Yeah, I mean, I was extremely confident going into this race. I mean, it's a track that I like a lot. So, yeah, fantastic battles at the front with both Paddy and Haaland. I had some wing damage from lap one. I got
Oh,
hit
is that
from
right?
behind. I got hit from behind, and then hit the car in front of me. So I had some slight wing damage. So I was just managing that. But once I got my wing changed under the safety car, I had some fantastic pace. I really felt at one with the car. But yeah, definitely happy to take it on track. I think I might be able to remove my penalty. We'll have to see. Oh,
Oh,
actually, never mind. Actually, never mind because I forgot
oh,
to take a screenshot of the race director.
ah.
Oh well, but yeah, nonetheless, it was a great race.
Yeah. Were you debating going on to the softs at the end, or was it always hard tires? Was that always the plan?
You mean before the safety car?
Sorry, uh, when the safety car came out, were you debating softs or were you
I was actually, just before I went into, slowed down for the pit line, I was trying to change it to the softs, but it was a bit too late. I was trying to panic
oh,
and fumble around, but I didn't want to make the wrong choice, so I stuck it out on the mediums.
true. How was the tire wear by the end, out of curiosity?
It was good. I mean, it suffered initially in those first couple of laps, but mediums are still a very, very strong tire. I'd say the optimal race tire around most tracks, so they had some good pace towards the end.
Yeah, especially in the end, despite being on the harder compound, you it looked like you had no problem at all keeping up with Haaland and anyone on the track for that matter. So yeah, and one last thing before we go, I think everyone who's listening needs to say congratulations on the Drivers' Championship. That was a truly dominant season right from the get-go. You drove beautifully, didn't put a foot wrong, and you deserve this 100%. So congratulations on the championship, Silvia.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Yeah, like I said to you, and I think our first interview that we had after race one,
Yes.
consistency is key,
Yeah.
and I did everything that I could to not put a foot wrong all season. I think last race in Singapore was the only race that I finished. Well, I didn't finish, and I finished outside the podium position. So
Mm.
yeah, really happy with the consistency. Consistency wins championships, and thank you very much once again.
No worries. And to be completely honest with you, if it wasn't for Haaland coming in mid-season and uh, kind of dominating the second half, I think you would have taken the Constructors' Championship for Aston Martin as well. So it was a
Oh man,
truly
I'm steaming
well-driven
about that one
season.
as well. I'm steaming about that one.
Yeah.
My teammate did a great job. Unfortunately, he wasn't there for the last couple of races, but yeah, we put up a really good fight. Haaland is on another level. I was just happy I was be able to stick with him for parts of that race there. But
It
yeah,
was
I mean,
fantastic to watch. I can't say that.
all right, yeah,
Well,
but yeah, congratulations to both the Merc boys. They deserve it. Paddy also didn't put a foot wrong all season. And of
yes, he
course,
had a great
Haaland's
season.
coming in and winning, I think, what, 6 of the 7 races that he participated in or something ridiculous like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Today was the only one he didn't win.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh wow. Well, thank you for the interview, Silver. Congratulations again on the podium and the championship, and looking forward to hearing you in the comments box next season.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, Mookie. Have a good one.
You too. So, I don't know if Patty will be joining. Probably not. So, we're going to leave it there. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. It was a pleasure being your commentator for this season. If you haven't caught on by now, unfortunately, I won't be returning next season, but I'm hoping to jump in every once in a while when I can. Maybe maybe reserving or maybe commentating with Servier or filling in for him on the days he can't attend. So yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to what next season brings. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.